Today I'm making my top cookie recipe of all time. I have sold literally over 1 million of these cookies, owned a bakery for 26 years with my mom, and now I'm giving away the recipes. And this is the most requested. It's our iced butter cookie, and it's Christmas in July. You're either gonna love me for how simple this recipe, or you're gonna hate me for how simple this recipe is. So anytime you wanna cream butter and sugar, if you'll put your sugar in your bowl first, it helps prevent some of that butter clumping to the bottom. So it's a pound of butter and 2 cups of sugar, and we're just gonna get that creaming. Once you've got your butter and sugar creamed a little bit, add about a teaspoon of vanilla, or just eyeball it. And we're also gonna drop in 2 eggs. You'll crack your eggs on a flat surface like a countertop instead of on the edge of your bowl. You're less likely to get eggshells in your cookie. Okay, once you've got your butter, eggs, vanilla, and sugar nicely creamed, gonna add our flour. It's 1 pound, 10 ounces, or about 5 1/4 cups of flour, and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a teaspoon, oh, that's my half teaspoon of salt. In you go. And you just want it to just come together. This is maybe 1 to 2 minutes. Nicely come together and pull away from the sides. For these cookies that we're doing, they're should be like our classic Christmas cutout cookie. I like to do this thickness. This is 3/16 of an inch thick. I like to have just a bowl of flour. You do not have to have a guard to do the cookies. I do find it incredibly faster to do this and more consistent, but not necessary. Lightly flour your surface, lightly press this out, tiny bit more flour on top. Now I do use a big rolling pin, and it's much faster. If you're just doing cookies for your family, like a 1-time batch, a regular size rolling pin's gonna be fine. But when I was doing 20 batches of this at a time, I did like to have a bigger rolling pin, and now I've just gotten used to it. So what I do like to do when I'm cutting them out is cut around the outside of my cookie dough. And then once I have the outer edge gone, I just pick that off, set it aside. We'll mix it back in just by hand for our next round of rollouts. But I always find that the middle is a little bit thicker than the outside edge, and since we want all of our cookies to be the same size, I just roll back over it just to thin it out a little bit. And I do keep a spatula for any time you have some that stick. For a standard size cookie, 12 to, I could probably get 15 or 16 on here. We're just gonna do even dozens, fit on a tray. They go in the oven, 350 for about 10 minutes, depends on your oven, and now I'm learning my elevation. You want them to be very lightly brown around the outside edge. When you roll out your next section, I take the scraps from the first one and about half of my dough. So the first time I did half the dough, now I'm gonna do a quarter of the dough plus this, and then the next time I'll do the scraps and the rest of the dough. And I'll just keep doing that until there's no more dough. Or you can also put your, whatever you're not using, in a baggie and stick it in the freezer until the next time you make cookie dough, and just let it thaw and mix it back in. When you come out of the oven, they should look like this. They're just lightly browned on the back. You can see on the edges, just very lightly brown. And then join me in the next video and we'll ice them.